When we finally reached the summit, we learned that Charlie was already in the field and they were having field day with a bag of Nestle Toll House cookies. Just that morning, Slim said to Billings, "They're working on holy water!" And they were. By the time we hit the bridge, we learned it was no longer there. Not a dozen of eggs stood still. Over the river and through the woods, Grandmother moved away, leaving nothing but a few wire hangers and a sign on the front door that read, "Use other door." Jimmy Boy was puzzled, for he knew not where he was going nor where he had come from. Montana lay just over the mountains, and the swamps were full of alligators and tailgaters. They were taking the hooks, and we were throwing the line like butter dripping off a hot biscuit. It wasn't long before Ricky called in some air, but not before Charlie came in, guns blazing. It was just like a scene out of Ernest Goes to Camp when Captain Fillmore showed up wearing nothing but his birthday suit and a bottle of half-drink scotch. We threw our typewriters in the air like a boy caught in a maze. I was eating out of a can of corned beef hash I found earlier that night on the stove at Grandma's house just before the storm. It seems like Grandma knew, and because she knew, she moved out just in time for what was really about to happen. Rusty was stunned. Realizing there was no more tang in the cupboard, he cocked his rifle and sailed out across the clothesline with a toothpick in each knee. Sergeant Cooper was there. I started pulling the pins out of all our grenades just for shits and giggles, and those curling irons were making us all laugh when they found us with our noses in the corner. It was the sweet smell of victory we shared like a basket of crabs. Walking upright was only half of it. We needed more detergent if we were going to lift this rig. Johnny yelled, "Thunder!" and we all jumped up. The shore, the sound of our favorite snaps. Somewhere in my mind's darkest depths I could hear the theme of the Charlie Brown Show, and Luke was puzzled. All he heard was the wind flapping the flag and the spines of the books narrowing. I called Roger a harpy, and he threw out his fig. "Jump, you pig suckers!" yelled Michigan. Tommy Two-Tone was playing on the radio of the car we hot wired at Grandma's house, because the keys were in the glove compartment, with my courage. My slingshot was keeping Laurel Hardy, and the boys were Nancy Drew. Then another sound came over the loudspeaker. It was Ray and Bebop boys, and they were singing Christmas carols to the enemy. "Good for you, Jackson!" I yelled to Henry. He was using his Bluetooth as a tide stick. By nightfall, Jerry had done figured out how to make a receiver out of his whipped cream can, so he began to do whippets with Charlie's Sergeant Poole. Sergeant Poole didn't like it. He was barely there. Out of the corner of my eyes, I could see the dawn begin to rise. To the east was the monolith, and to the right was the dagger. I picked up the chalk and began to draw a line, but it was too late. Billy Chiggins and the boys were playing the fiddle for our lost comrades, and by then, hell, there wasn't nothing we could do. Buddy Joe Young was singing to his Rice Krispies, and it made the young feller dance. I then produced my rapier, and with my tongue tightly in cheek, I put him in check. They were all singing the blues like a $20 hooker on New Year's Eve. I pulled back my sling and shot. Through the air with the greatest of ease was an arrow in the night. It flew straight and true into the void where we could no longer tell. But we knew what it meant. We knew it meant something. We knew. We